And here we are on the final project of my 12 days of cast-ons. I forgot to mention in the last video, for anybody who's new, this is a make-along that is hosted by Ange of Yarn and Yarns. She's been doing the 12 days of cast-ons for a few years, and people started joining her, so she makes a make-along out of it. And I'm so glad that she did, because this gets me set up for knitting projects for myself. And I discovered her through Sylvie and Robin of Grumpy Sheep Happy Llama, so they too are participating in the 12 days of cast-ons, and you can watch their videos as well. I will have both channels, Yarn and Yarns and Grumpy Sheep Happy Llama, linked below. So yeah, and speaking of Robin of Grumpy Sheep Happy Llama, today's cast-on was inspired by her. I want to go back to my scrappy knitting. I am really overwhelmed by my scraps. Yeah, they're everywhere. I love the satisfaction of using up scrappy balls of yarn and then removing them from my Ravelry stash. So yeah. So without further ado, today's project is a scrappy one called the Scraw Bucket bag, and it is by the Passionate Spinner. It's the Passionate Spinner, and that's the information. And here it is. So with this pattern, it is a decay weight, so it's 2 fingering strands held together. However, I want it to be a little bit bigger, so I'm doing it in worsted weight, and I am either using up worsted scraps, holding 2 decay together, or holding like 4 fingering together for a really big impact, you know? So I have this bag of scraps. Can't really see them because of the lovely iridescence, but yeah, it's a bag of scraps. Where is my actual cast on though? Is it still in here? Yes, it is. Here it is. Okay. So I'm knitting it on a 4.5 millimeter, and I've started with solid worsted weight for the bottom of the bag. I want this bag to be able to fit one of my blankets. So here it is, the bottom of the bag, and I've got 1 ball of scrap yarn already out. It is already gone, and I've just thrown so many different like weights of yarn and things in here, and I'll make it work somehow. It is not going to be a very pretty bag, but it's not meant to be pretty, it's meant to be functional. So yeah, so this yarn is Galway. The next one I'm knitting is also Galway. So looking forward to having these out of my Ravelry stash and just into a project and not into one of these drawers, because this thing right here is all this little tower of plastic drawers, 3 of them, has all scrap yarn in it, and I would like to empty it and have it repurposed elsewhere in my house for other organization, like in the basement or somewhere, because I hold off on buying new bins and things when I want to reorganize, because I have them already in the house. It's just that they can be emptied and repurposed, so that's what I'm trying to do. Anyway, I am gonna go knit and watch the Lord of the Rings, and I will check back in with you a little later on. Okay, it is now just after 9 o'clock, which is time for me to go to bed. So, I had a grand old time today watching The Lord of the Rings and knitting, and I got quite a bit done. I got some little stashy balls of yarn used up. Is it the most attractive thing in the world? No. Compared to a lot of the other Scraw Bucket bags, actually pretty well all of the Scraw Bucket bags that are on the project pages. It's quite ugly, but we're going for function here, not beauty. So, this morning I was like, just starting the gray section, and I got a few knit up. So I get to go into my Ravelry page and check those off as being all used up, which is really exciting. I think what I'm going to do, since this bag is reversible, I might make this the inside. And when I get to start working like the other half of it after the welt, I am going to do marled DK weight. I think that is what my plan is. So I'll have one side that is just straight up worsted, and then another side that is marled DK. So I'll probably like that side better, and that will probably be the side that I keep out. Oh, there are some yarns in here that I do enjoy. But anyway, yeah, I used up the remainder of the 2 colors of Galway. I used up the 2 colors of West Yorkshire Spinner Croft Aran. That's those next 2 colors. I used up my little scraps of Estelle Color Flow. This one here, this gray, right before the purple. Here's a closer look, this gray. That is actually the currently oldest yarn that I have in my stash. I was going to use it for like a coaster or something, but I was questioning whether there was even enough there to do that. I don't think there was, but it was just nice to throw it in this thing and get it knit up. So now I can see what my next oldest yarn is and maybe find a project for that. So I think I know what it is. I think it's more Galway in the orange, and I think I have a plan for it. I'm thinking search and rescue gnome, but we'll see. Yeah, so I have a basket over there. That's all the elder stash. So, what can I say? This has been an adventure. I have really enjoyed all your comments and questions in the chat and in the comment section under the videos. If you haven't seen all the videos for my 12 days of cast-ons and would like to watch them, I have made a playlist. So what happens now with all these projects? Whoops, I just totally dropped it on the ground. I am going to take like 3 at a time, really, well, 4, because this one is going in my scrappy knit rotation. So I'm going to be rotating my blankets again. I'm so excited I get to start my blankets again tomorrow. It's going to be very scrappy. I'll talk about it more in my next video, but I'm doing like quarterly themes instead of monthly themes this year. The overarching theme for 2025 is Year of the Gnome. And then hopefully it'll be more successful than Year of the Garment. And then there will be quarterly themes, and the first one is going to be scrappy. So, yeah. I'll talk about that on my next video. So, my next video is going to be recorded next Wednesday, so I have a week to do some work, catch up on things. But yeah, this one will be in the scrappy rotation, and then I have 3 that I'm just going to rotate and work on along with the rest of the projects that I have on the go, which some need to be cast on. I need to cast on a gnome. But anyway, yeah, that's what the plan is, to get these into my regular rotation. I'm looking forward to doing some scrappy blanket knitting again. I haven't done some in quite some time. And using up more little balls of sock yarn and stuff, and doing some gift knitting to get ready for birthdays and next Christmas. So yeah, catch up with me next week. The plan is to post every Thursday, record on Wednesday, post on Thursday, and see where I go with these projects and others. If you found me through these 12 days of cast-ons, I do knit all of the things from garments to coasters to all the accessories, and I use a wide variety of yarns. So if that tickles your fancy, then don't forget to hit subscribe, and yeah, you'll be able to see all of my future knits and how things go with the 12 cast-ons. Thank you to Robin and Sylvie of Grumpy Sheep Happy Llama for introducing me to Yarn and Yarns and the 12 days of cast-ons, and also thank you to Ange of Yarn and Yarns for doing the make-along of the 12 days of cast-ons. It's been, yeah, I feel like I am set up with some great projects to knit for myself. Well, of course, I I knit for other people, but I'm not forgetting myself, I guess is what I'm trying to say, which is what I usually end up doing. So anyway, until next week, look forward to seeing you in the comments again, and until then, take care.